Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Odin's movie blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. How is everyone doing this evening? Welcome to episode 160 of the Welcome to Asgard podcast, and joining me for a brief moment before he drives back down to Alabama is the one, the only, the beautiful John, the Flick Pick Flickinger, repping his family video t-shirt.
Yeah.
John, how's it going? Do you want to speak into the microphone?
I do. Hey there, guys. How are you? It's good to be here. It's weird being here. Isn't it kind of surreal? Like, I shouldn't be in the background of this video right now.
Yeah. It's like Inception a little bit.
Be honest, though. This is really a what a digital effect. The budget of the show is now $300 million, and I'm not real. This is James Cameron actually took time out directing Avatar 2 through 25 and inserted me into it.
Exactly. It turns out I figured out how to use my green screen, and the first thing I wanted was what looked like John Flickinger behind me.
Yeah, and I'm going to steal your Blu-rays over here and leave.
Speaking of Blu-rays, I actually picked some up from our family video. So the first thing I want to say before John goes, because I will actually put the Be Right Back up in a second, because he does have to go. We just shot a awesome set of videos over at Family Video. So be on the lookout for that on his main channel, the Flick Pick channel. And also, I have some vlogs that I'll be posting on the main channel. It's probably tomorrow, just to make sure I have enough time to keep sane. But it was a pretty cool experience to see all of this, all these movies available. And I think the funniest thing for me was the fact that some movies had completely printed out on printer paper covers.
That adds to the quality known as Family Video. But hey, this is the closest thing you're going to get back into a video store. You have to take what you can get and be happy that you have it. So just be happy. It's almost a surreal experience going into Family Video. I love it. Just the smell of it. It smelled really bad when we first walked in, I'm not going to lie. But I got used to it, and that's what matters. Yeah.
It has that typical, slightly mold smell where it's not like dangerous mold.
It smelled like old wet fish.
Old wet fish.
It really did.
That is definitely one way to say it. But anyway, John, thank you for making a small cameo appearance on, and I definitely hope to have you on the podcast in a more official form in the future.
A chair would have been nice.
Well, if I had a chair to spare, I would, but...
I could sit on your lap.
Hey.
I don't care. Yeah, I do.
See, yeah, that's exactly right. Toxic masculinity right here, everybody. So please make sure you...
Let's go watch Captain Marvel right now.
No,
okay.
We will not. But thank you so much for joining me, John. And I'm actually going to put the Be Right Back up, so if anyone asks if they're here, they missed it. They missed the fun stuff. I'm going to walk him out, and I will be right back soon.
See you guys later.
All right, everybody, I am back. Thank you so very much for your patience, but I wanted to make sure I was able to walk John out. He drove about an hour and 45 minutes from Alabama. We then drove an hour outside of Chattanooga to the only Family Video that's nearby to me. For anyone that does not know what Family Video is basically it's Blockbuster. It's one of the last remaining chains that exist that still rents movies, even sells some of them that have been used at a much more discounted price. I actually have 3 movies to talk about that I actually was able to pick up from Family Video, all used. And also they even do games as well. And so what we did was, for his channel, he had a sponsored Family Video channel, so that one will be live on his channel probably sometime next week after it gets edited and put together and everything. And then I also recorded some vlogs and some footage inside the store as well. So I will be trying to get all of that footage put together probably sometime tomorrow and either get that onto the main channel either tomorrow or on Monday. And it was a lot of fun. It was kind of weird because it has really been years since I've been in anything that even looks remotely like a Blockbuster. So to be able to have that experience was pretty cool. And just to walk down the aisles, it just made me reminisce about times when I was a child, where we would go to Blockbuster literally every single week. And one of the most exciting things was, what films are we going to get? What new games on our N64 are we going to try and play? And oftentimes we would just get the same games over and over and over again. And it was always fun picking up those N64 games that hadn't been wiped, and you'd get random characters and random gameplays and random levels that have been played by other people. So it's just really cool. They have a modern day version of that that's still active. They still, I think, have hundreds of stores across the country. So if you've never heard of Family Video, go ahead and look them up. If you like Blockbuster, if you like the idea of being able to get a physical version of a movie to watch, it's better than, it's better than the digital stuff out there, because as we've been making clear on this channel for a long time now, physical media is very important. And I think one key aspect of physical media is being able to access that physical media for a low price. And what if you don't want to buy a movie outright? What if you want to give it a test run before you spend any extra cash on it? Well, Family Video is there. For new releases, I want to say you can have it for 5 nights for about $3.50, which is a lot more time than the 24, 48 hours digital versions you oftentimes get. And also you get the physical copy as well. So you get better visual quality, you get all the special features that might be on that disc. And for me personally, I just think it's a better deal overall. And as I said, sometimes when they get enough copies available, they actually will end up selling them at a discounted rate. Now, they are used, but then again, you might also find some really nice gems in there that might otherwise not have been sold. So anyway, that's where I've been. So again, we're very, very sorry that I had a late start today. I did post on Twitter. I did post on the Discord server that the stream would be starting late. And so again, very sorry. The shoot went longer than what was expected. It was supposed to be only an hour shoot. We ended up shooting for about 3 hours. And then, of course, we had to get back here nice and safe-like. So let me go ahead and pull up my DLive fam, because I just forgot that my DLive fam are also live right now. So howdy, my DLive fam. So let me go ahead and say hi to them really quick. So Outback Zach, thank you very much for the ice cream donations. I appreciate you very, very much, good sir. Captain Adam and the clan are here. Will Gentry, Captain Dean Heiss is here. Outback Zach is here. Captain Adam and the clan posting some random gifts. Captain Mr. Roy is in the chat as well. Captain Dean Heiss says, gotta walk him out. I guess doesn't know the way. No, it's just a polite thing to do, right? He was a guest in my home. He knew that I wanted to try and do a stream tonight. He said that he wouldn't mind being on as a special guest. If I had a chair for him, that would have been perfect. Phonema says, working at Hollywood Video during high school and college summers is still my favorite job ever. No, seriously, that's one job that I wish I could have had. Working in a movie theater is about the closest thing to that, because you get access to the newest movies. But if my job was to work in a store where I got to potentially watch movies as I worked, that'd be really cool. I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm feeling about that. Will Gentry says, you had to hold his hand and kiss his cheek at the door, right? Well, of course. All right. He's a lady. He's a proper lady, and I wanted to make sure I respected him. I must respect Whammon at all times. But anyway, thank y'all so much for putting up with my lateness. We will not be going too long tonight because of the late start. So tonight is essentially a open forum. It's essentially a late open forum, short open forum stream. Don't worry, I will try and make it up to you guys. Again, we have the Monday morning stream. Where this week we will be watching The Great Escape, which is a film I've never seen before. It's a 3-hour movie, so again, we'll have a long stream then. The Tuesday one-man low council, of course, will still be on, and I might even try and throw in another random stream, or at the very least make the one-man low council longer, or I'll make it up to you guys. I also have some pretty exciting news regarding my initiative to try and start preserving physical media. Now, as you all know, I back up all of my Blu-rays, I back up all of my data for my own Plex server, but now I've started to recently look into the fact, well, if Little Britain, for instance, was announced last night that they would be pulling all of their copies off of Amazon, not allowing any more copies to be sold. What if we get to a point where studios say, we can't sell this movie anymore? Or, hey, you, Best Buy, hey, you, Amazon, you can't sell these movies anymore. We're going to try and ground them all up, right? It's like almost like a modern-day book burning. If you don't think it's going to happen, just look around you. You're not paying attention. Obviously, Gone with the Wind is one of those films that was on the docket. It has since been altered in some forms or fashions, and many other films will eventually be censored in some way. Many people have been trying to buy Gone with the Wind. Many people, of course, have failed because it is sold out or being sold at a crazy rate because of the limited availability. And so one of the tests that I've done and that I was trying to finish today, luckily I have some Blu-ray discs, some blank Blu-ray discs that came in today, so I was able to finish my test, and the test was successful. And the test is this. I was able to find a way to not only digitize my copy of Gone with the Wind, but also I was able to replicate it onto a Blu-ray disc. All right, so this might not seem like, crazy science to a lot of people, but what this means is that the image file that I have for the movie that I own, if my disc were to ever go faulty, I can make a replacement. And going in line with what I was just talking about, if for any reason a major studio ever decides, hey, we're going to try and erase a film from history, or we're going to edit all future films, or we're going to do this or that to try and limit physical media, there is a way, at least for me, there is a way to not only preserve the media for myself, but also to make sure everyone can still have access to the media. Now, I know that this is allegedly questionable, and I am not one that promotes really piracy, right? I am never going to be the person that's going to rip a movie off and put it up online. That's just not my deal. But if a studio decides, oh, I'm going to destroy this film, I'm going to destroy this history, and I have the capacity to preserve it and to allow other people to enjoy this film, hey, I have no problem with it. So anyway, so obviously I've got a full-featured version right here of Gone with the Wind. And then, of course, my first experiment, which it works, but it's not nearly as nice. It doesn't have a menu or any other options of Interspace I have as well. So those I might actually put into, not anything official, but might throw into any giveaways that I do on the channel. I might throw in an extra copy for yourself, if indeed that is something that you're interested in. But if you want to try and help in this preservation process, if you want to try and aid in that, right? I'm just one guy. I'm just a simple dude trying to do everything that I can. Please consider donating via Patreon, via Subscribestar, via PayPal, via Streamlabs donations. And think about donating to try and help, because one thing that I would love to do, again, I have my own Plex server for my own personal media, but I would love to be able to create a lockdown server to store image files, meaning files that you can put onto a Blu-ray disc. I would love to start going through my collection and determining what are the most problematic movies that I own, the ones that are the most in danger of being impacted, and let me turn them into ISO images, image files. So that way, if for any reason anything ever happens, I have it on that server. And I can make copies, and I can make sure everyone has access to it in the way it was originally intended to be seen. All right, let me go ahead and jump over into YouTube world. Jens Jurgensen's in the chat. What's going on, Jens Jurgensen, who says, "Who dad?" That was John the Flick Pick. He was here earlier. Tina B says, "There's some strange purse ring wandering in your den." Yes, indeed. Mira Jeremy noticed who it was, the Flick Pick. Waiting for Nerdrotic. I love the fact, Laura, that you've changed your name. It's great. Bad timing. Gotta put the groceries away. Aw, darn. Sorry about that. Bear Nerd Fun says, Hail to you, good sir. Tina B says, so was it a bootleg business with printed out labels? I've been in one of those stores before. So no, it actually wasn't. The discs themselves are legitimate. All right, so the discs themselves are legitimate. Again, I'll show you all the 3 movies that I picked up in a second. It's just that for some of them, the cases either were missing the artwork or they were trying to create an artwork so that way people knew what the movie was. But as soon as, because I had that question myself, and I'm like, this doesn't look right. Open up the disc, sure enough, it's a legitimate release of the movie itself. So they were used, but Yeah, so it was not a bootleg store, but the packaging was a little bootleg in some locations. What was cool was they actually had an old school collector's edition of Gone with the Wind on DVD. Now, it was not for sale. If it was for sale, I probably would have bought it. I probably would have bought it to, to kind of, preserve it. Even though I already own the Blu-ray. Again, having a DVD collector's edition set, I imagine there might be some extra stuff on there. But it was only available for rental, sadly. Christina Nardon, what's going on, Christina? Captain Wingster says, "Oh God, Odin, there's another man. Another man. Oh, no. Nitrium, what's going on, good sir? Thanks for being a member on the channel." Baxter says, "Hail Odin in chat. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. It has been a very, very busy day for me, which is why I cannot go on too long tonight. But again, it is open forum if there's anything else that y'all want to talk about. But of course, big news is I found a way to preserve media and replicate it. And also, Family Video is a great place to go and check out films that maybe are lesser known. Right? If you live near one, it's a great place to go and say, hey, I want to rent this movie and maybe I want to buy it one day. Who knows? Who knows? Alex McCarthy says, typical toxicity, late as heck and letting us know, and walking your guests to the door, so toxic, Odin. I know. CWD Trixie says he still got a Family Video in town here. Hey, I would recommend going. You might find some gems. The one big problem I had with Family Video is that not everything they have even used is on sale, because there's a couple of 4K titles that I've been really eyeing. For example, I really want to get Ford v Ferrari, but it's a little bit too high for my liking at this point. And they had copies there, and I wish that I could have bought one used, because it probably would have been a really good deal. That's a film that I know that I definitely want to own at some point in time. Latino Slant, what's going on, Latino Slant, man? I feel like I let you down. I told you last night on Friday Night Tights that we'd be starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully you follow me on Twitter or Discord, because I did let people know, to the best of my ability, that I was indeed going to be late. Cupcake Geek says, Salute, Odin. Do you know any other languages? Have you ever studied another language? Yes, I studied Spanish for about 10 years in school. I'm great on paper. I'm terrible in the spoken language department. Like, if you were to give me a sheet of paper with Spanish on it, I could probably read most of it, make sense of most of it, but speaking it, not so much. By the way, shout out to John Flickinger, the Flick Pick, who bought me a Gatorade on our way back. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. 70B says, new time, who dis? Exactly. Alrighty, here. Super Anime Gamer says, hey, what is up, my dude? What's going on? Tina says, I was on Amazon this afternoon, and I'm seeing a load of physical media sold out. I think people are getting the idea again. Buy physical media as a backup these days. Exactly right. It's this kind of stuff, like what they're doing with Gone with the Wind, and now Little Britain, right? As broke that last night on Friday Night Tights, where they're taking it off the shelves, they're editing it, they're altering it. And the only ways to preserve that is to have the physical disc, to have the physical media, because if you own it, they can't touch it, right? You can't touch it. And so that's why I love having my own Plex server, because I have digital files of all of my movies. In case anything ever happens to any of my discs, if they get scratched, it's fine. I've got a backup for it. And now, knowing that I can, duplicate them if need be too, it's a good thing to have. It's a good thing to have. Captain Wingster. So, Odin, I finished watching The Last of Us Part 2. 2 fingers out of 10. Don't ever buy this game. Yeah, so I've been watching PewDiePie's playthrough. I'm currently partway through, I want to say it's part 3? No, I'm in part 2. I'm an hour and 40 minutes into his part 2. It's been really bad so far. And you know what the sad thing is? PewDiePie, who's normally very positive, I feel, when playing games, has been very sad. Like, he's just been very... It's like he doesn't feel like the game has the same spirit that the first one did. And it's just so sad to see live on stream someone going through that process where they're like, I don't know how to feel. I don't want to hate this, but it's also not very good. So just to see him go through that process is really sad. It's really sad. And by the way, I do need to fix something real quick because this was from my Twitch stream the other day. The cursor across the stream. Remember that if indeed you have a comment or question that you want me to read or see, type Odin question, all one word, Odin question. So it should be updated now in the ticker that's going on down. Unfortunately for Twitch, when I do my Twitch streams on Thursdays, which are now a podcast, by the way, please consider supporting it. It is currently being featured on an app called Anchor. The podcast can be accessed through iTunes, Google Play. Essentially what it is, it's my Thursday stream, only it's in podcast form. So I'm going to go ahead and post a link to that in the description. So if you want to go ahead and check it out, follow it, listen to it, give me some feedback on it as well. I would appreciate it if you follow me on iTunes. 5-star reviews would be great. Again, any way to try and help get that some traction, because my end goal is that if this works out, if Anchor works out very well, I might be able to move the Welcome to Asgard podcast over there. And also, John and I were talking about, maybe even doing another podcast. Who knows? But I would love to be I love podcasting. It's so much fun to talk to people. And also, be on the lookout because this week I'm working on getting Cameron Pasha. If you were watching Friday Night Tights last night, Cameron Pasha was on. He's awesome. He's great. He's actually a producer that's worked in Hollywood before on various titles. And we're going to try and have a conversation about movies, about current state of cinema, and also talk about faith, too, because both of us come from very deep faith backgrounds and very different faith backgrounds at that. So be on the lookout for that. That should be coming up. I'm going to try and record that as a podcast to give us a little bit more free reign on that. But look for that. I think I'm going to post that on the main channel because I think it's going to be a really, really good discussion. Alrighty. Captain Winkster, got your comment already. Jens Jurgensen says, greetings from Denmark. Greetings, good sir. Hopefully you're doing very well, Jens. Hopefully you're doing so very well. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Again, it is open forum, but of course, physical media is indeed the name of the game in today's world. CW Trixie says, even though Rotten Tomatoes scores really do mean nothing now, what do you think of Rotten Tomatoes scores of Artemis Fowl? Sometimes they get it on the nose, and yeah, that film was terrible. So the low scores make sense to me. Darkness says, sorry I haven't been at your streams. It's just I can't wake up that early. Yeah, I don't know where you are in the world, man, but obviously not everyone can. It's okay. If you mean my early morning streams Monday and Wednesday and Thursday, I get it, man. I get it. It's no problem. It's no problem. All right, jumping over to DLive for a second because I saw that there was doing some crazy stuff over there. Will Gentry says, you had to hold his hand and kiss his cheek at the door. Indeed, I'm a gentleman. Phonema says, speaking of Gone with the Wind, my laser discovered copy came in. I can add it to my other Okay, so you got a laser disc. Nice. That's awesome, man. I was actually looking on eBay for laser discs because not that I want to start collecting those, but I think just to have one laser disc in my collection would be really cool, just because it'd be like, yeah, I have these different forms of media that we used to consume things on. DVD used to be the highest form, right? Much more than VHS. Eventually, of course, DVD, and now Blu-ray and 4K. And 4K is essentially the highest that we go as far as meaning anything, because 8K, yeah, it's 8K, but the difference between 4K and 8K is not nearly as striking, from what I've been told by people that follow this stuff. Outback Zach says, will they never take our good burgers? Outback Zach, thank you for the 2 ice cream donations. I appreciate it. Will Gentry says, obligatory joke, we are the Film Preservation Society. Yes, indeed, dude. That's something, again, I'm very passionate about that. I'm very serious about that. I would love to be able to not just, go through the process of digitizing the things, making copies when need be, but also hunting down films, right? Hunting down copies of various films and trying to protect them. It's like at this point in time, if a studio or a filmmaker isn't going to protect their movie, then who else can? The fans. It really comes down to the fans. The fans are the ones. They're the lifeblood. They're the lifeblood of cinema. We need it. Captain High says, Odin's movie preservation blog. That's essentially what I'm turning into. But again, I really want to harp on it. Why physical media is so important. Outback Zach says, you'll come to see in time there are changes needed to be made. Will Gentry says, you had an invader in his man cave. That must have been traumatizing. Do you need me to find you a therapist to overcome your demons? No, I think I'll survive. I think I will survive. Cam Dean Heist, thank you for the 3 ice cream donations. I appreciate it. Daniel Thorne says, I hope you have a backup Discord. They have taken down a few servers already since yesterday's blog post supporting BLM. Wait, they've been taking down pro BLM Discords? Well, I'm not pro BLM, so I'm fine. BLM, Antifa, any of those groups that are part of the violence going on? No, thank you. We have a nice family-friendly Discord server where we talk about movies and pop culture. And we have one small politics section that sometimes gets traction, but Captain Adam says, what is your favorite taco? I like steak tacos. If I had to have a perfect taco, it would be a steak taco. So good. Captain Adam also says, how hot did it get today? 93 here. It got pretty hot. We were outside earlier because we got to Family Video around 3, and as soon as we got out, it was hot. It was definitely very hot. Daniel Thorne says, how persistent do you think theater chains will be with the mandatory masks once people are inside watching the movie and eating popcorn? Yeah, that's actually something that me and John talked about. We did a video. We did an 18-minute vlog, actually, as we were driving back. And that's one of the topics that came up. And the point that I always keep on trying to make is that it's going to be impossible to enforce it. If you're going to be selling popcorn, if you're going to be selling soft drinks, you can't just have someone in the theater that every time someone takes a bite of popcorn, if they don't put their mask on back immediately when they're not eating the popcorn, like no one's going to want to deal with that. And so what I think AMC needs to do, and what I think AMC Cinemark Regal will do, is they'll clarify. And I think that the way they'll get away with it is a compromise. What they'll say is you have to wear a mask in the lobby and any public areas, right? So if you're walking to the bathroom, you should wear a mask. If you're in the hallway, you should wear a mask. If you're in the lobby, you should wear a mask. As soon as you sit down in the theater, in your seat, the mask can come off. You can enjoy your popcorn, soft drinks. However, and I think they can add this, we encourage you to continue to wear your mask for the safety of others, right? But not a mandate. That's the only way they could get away with it, right? That's the only way that I would go to a theater again, right? I don't mind wearing it if it's just in the lobby. But if you're going to force me to wear a mask when I'm sitting down trying to enjoy a drink and popcorn and trying to play around with all that crap, no thank you. I would rather wait until things pass over. I would rather, find other means to watch it, to be perfectly honest, allegedly, because I think that's ridiculous. So I think that, AMC's CEO, I think, did a terrible, stupid thing, giving away any of their plans in the first place. And I think it's absolutely going to come back to bite them in the ass. But that's how I would personally say that they really can't enforce it. And if they do, it's just going to make people miserable and pissed off and not want to come back. Captain Adam says, how you doing, buddy? Did you have a good day? It was a very long day. A long day of shooting, but it was fun. It was fun. I'm actually very excited to see what the footage looks like, because that's actually today was the first official vlog video where I'm using my iPhone exclusively. I brought my vlog camera with me just in case, but I figured the wide angle on this one actually looks really good and captured a lot of stuff. So we'll see how it turned out. And I can't wait to look at the footage and get all that stuff together. Cannot wait. Will Gentry says, after 4K, our eyes can't really tell the difference, so we'll stick with 4K till the next step is available, that being lifelike VR. Yeah, VR is the next step for sure. No doubt about it. As far as physical media goes, 4K is the highest, and that's why, I would even argue that for most movies, 1080p is going to be just fine, right? 1080p is a great, Blu-rays are great quality. 4K is on a 4K TV with all the bells and whistles. It's going to look great. It's going to look immersive. It's going to be fantastic. But yeah, Blu-ray, 4Ks, both of them are fantastic. Anything more than 4K, though, as you said, we really won't be able to tell the difference. It's not going to matter. Daniel Thorne says, bootleg lives matter. It's kind of that point now, right? It's kind of that point. Only I think in our instance, we are absolutely preserving culture, because I think movies, television, books, those are culture, and I think it's important for us to preserve that. Captain Adam says, Kaba is sleeping. He tried to stay up, but just couldn't do it. Well, I'm very sorry, Kaba. Hope you're sleeping very well. Now there's a Slovakian. That's the first time I've seen a Slovakian in the chat. Normally it's the Turkish people. Keep an eye out on that. Camden High says, Mega Jess posted a video that Hawaiian shirts could be symbol of white supremacy. What a joke. Yeah, that's a huge joke. That's a huge joke, and it's not funny either. It's ridiculous. Captain Adam says, Kaba was up early 3 a.m. and we hung out till about 7 our time. Y'all hanging out so much. How dare you? Daniel Thorne, they're taking down servers saying things against BLM or are quote-unquote white supremacists or are reported that way. Yeah, well, luckily we don't really talk about it at all, which is how it should be, because I hope that we can just ignore them and they go away because they're annoying. I have no tact tonight, everybody. I'm so tired. Outback Zach says, I can eat popcorn with a mask on. Well, good for you, man. Good for you. You can. And you can go ahead and choose to do so. I don't think anyone else should be forced to. If you want to wear it, if you're that... And here's my main point, too. If you are that concerned about getting sick, don't go. It's really simple. If you're that concerned about getting sick, then just don't go. Don't make everyone else suffer, because I've worn a mask for an hour and a half going to Mass. And it's a pain. I'm willing to put up with it at Mass, though, right? That's a sacrifice I'm willing to do. It's kind of a perfect place for that when you think about it. But to enjoy a movie and to be there to relax? Hell no. Hell no. Phonemo. The people demanding the masks weren't and don't go to see the movies. Exactly. It was the Twitter mob. It was the very small, pathetic Twitter mob that was pushing for that nonsense. And for some reason, these companies still believe that they have power. Now, we'll grant you this much. The Twitter mob is annoying enough where they will go after advertisers. That's the one place where they can hurt, is if they go after advertisers. But then I would go after the advertisers and say, why are you listening to a very small group of people that probably aren't buying your product anyway? It's ridiculous, man. It's so freaking ridiculous. Camden High says, I cringe every time you say iPhone. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not sorry at all. Captain Adams says, we shall see what AMC does, but I want my popcorn now. Yeah, I have, again, both me and Adam have that 2020 AMC popcorn bucket that has not been filled the last 3 months. So either I want my money's worth or I want to extend it into 2021. That's what I want. Outback Zach says, any soy toppings for popcorn in the theaters yet? Asking for my friend Jeremy. I like popcorn and salt on mine. It's just delicious. I love the pop. I know it's so bad and it's not real butter either. It's just good. Phonemo, but I love my Hawaiian shirts. They make me happy because you're not a hateful person. Hawaiian shirts are not hateful. Anyone saying that is an idiot. Adam says, well, you could have hung out with us, but you were busy. I was busy. Outback Zach, to be fair, the one place I get squeezed on the most is in the movie theater. Ruined My Last Jedi. I was sneezed the most in the theater. Ruined My Last Jedi. You get sneezed on? I've never been sneezed. All the years I've gone to see movies, I've never been sneezed on. Ever. And guess what? It'll be a lot harder for that to happen when you're social distancing in the theater. You won't have anyone that you don't know next to you. And a lot of the theaters are also going to have a row get skipped. So you'll have no one behind you, no one in front of you. So you shouldn't have to worry about that problem. And then Cav Adams says, okay, which is better, pancakes or French toast? If you mean a stack of pancakes, the stack always wins. If you mean one single pancake versus one single piece of French toast, then French toast obviously wins. It's the same logic that I always used. All right, jumping back over into the YouTube world. Let us see. Slice of Neon says, please everyone, do not get your dad a golf set tomorrow. Poor taste. Happy Father's Day, all dads, especially first timers. Like all father, #Joel Lives Matter. Well, thank you so much, man. Yeah, it technically will be my first Father's Day. Little baby Thor is moving around a little bit. And we are very excited. It's about 24 weeks along now. Due date still sometime in October. So baby Thor seems to be very strong. We're very happy about that. And yeah, technically my first Father's Day. So thank you very much for that, Slicer. And happy Father's Day. Happy early Father's Day to every single father out there. Also, 4 minutes ago, canceled Venom Zero Duality, Canson Venom, thank you very much for the Canadian $2 super chat. He says, "Hail Odin, hail breathtaking Valkyries, sorry caps, no problem at all, man. Dude, when you super chat, you can caps all you want, man." And absolutely, I agree. Hail to the Valkyries, Tina and Steph. Thank y'all for putting up with my nonsense tonight, for being late, much later than I expected. Again, I thought I was gonna get here right on time, and it turns out it just wasn't the case. And then John said, "Hey, you want to go get some food?" And I'm like, if there's a place that you really want to go to, sure. But if not, I would really like to stream tonight. No place came up, so luckily I was able to. So I could have been hanging out with John a little bit longer, but I wanted to be with you guys. So we spent hours together, an hour both way in the car, plus like 3 hours on the actual. We spent 5 hours or so together today. So, and plus we still need to record the podcast episode too. So by the way, anyone that's waiting on the podcast episode, we are indeed going to be planning to get that done sometime this week, hopefully. Super Anime Gamer, what? They're not even permitting Little Britain to be sold? That's not eerily authoritarian at all. Yeah, that's according to As last night. He was reading an article from that apparently they're pulling it from Amazon. They're not allowing Amazon to sell it. And even so far, apparently, again, please fact check me on this one if it's different information, that anyone that has an active order, that their order, unless it's been shipped, has to be canceled. Which is, again, very authoritarian. I agree, and that's why we should cancel the BBC. If you live in the UK, I can't do anything about it myself. But Justin Proper, I see you. What's going on, good sir? Hope you're doing well. Sierra Productions, hello there. Hello there, Sierra Productions. Super Anime Gamer says, "I've never seen Little Britain, and I'm tempted to try and grab a copy off of eBay. This is pure reactionary, and it's insanely dangerous." It is. It is, because what happens if they start destroying these copies? Now, obviously, one could argue, Odin, you're overreacting. So many people already own it, etc. And I agree. But I would like to take every precaution I can. Physical copies can get damaged. So can digital. Digital servers can definitely go down. And that's why something that I want to start doing, I want to start the process, and that's why I want to start raising funds for, is I want to get an actual legit NAS with the purpose of it being storing specifically ISO files. And for anyone that doesn't know, an ISO file is essentially a Blu-ray image. So when you have a blank Blu-ray, you can use a service that will put the Blu-ray image onto it. And when the Blu-ray image is on the blank disc, it now becomes the movie. So basically, the image contains things like title menus, special features if they're there, the movie itself, languages, subtitles, etc. And so my first test with it was actually I transferred an MKV from my legitimate copy of Inner Space that I have. I was able to turn that into an ISO file, but because only the file, or rather only the movie file exists on it, when I burned it, the movie's there and it's playable. But as soon as you put the Blu-ray in, it's going to start playing and there's no menu, so you have no options. But still, it's a playable movie. So I ran out of disc, and so luckily they came in today. And so with Gone with the Wind, I tried something different. So there's an app called AnyDVD. I normally use Make MKV, but with AnyDVD, it saves the Blu-ray as a set of files. And then in the app that I use, you can actually turn that set of files into an image file. And with that, the folder has all the subtitles, all the information that's on a Blu-ray disc. And so today was going to be the big test for it, and sure enough, it worked. So yeah, I now have a second copy of Gone with the Wind that has a menu. And there's not a whole lot of special features on here, but there is a commentary. There's a voice commentary on here, and also you can choose to play it in the original mono sound on it as well. So once again, future package to be put into some giveaways. I don't plan to start a market of giving away a bunch of copies, though, by the way, just for the record, right? For the record. But again, I think it is important for us to be able to have access to be able to do that. I really do. So if you want to support my work and trying to build a legitimate server to host, again, my main goal is to go after any films that, at least at first, that are viewed as problematic. So my next one will probably end up being Blazing Saddles. Probably all of Mel Brooks' collection, to be honest, but Blazing Saddles for sure will be another one that I will have to try and work on. And yeah, because I would love to be able to store all that stuff and keep it protected and keep it safe and preserve it. It's a Trap Production says King Kong 1933 will definitely be on the chopping block, my lord. I will definitely make a copy of my DVD. Boom. There you go. It's Trap Productions. Awesome. And that's another thing too. If you don't have the ability to, to donate, or you don't want to, it's fine, right? I'm not going to force anyone's hand. It's all just a request on my part, just giving you my ideas. And if you like my ideas, great. If you don't like my ideas, that's fine too. But something else that you could do is you could, if you have a copy of something, or if you want me to have a copy of something, or you want me to digitize it, but you don't think you could, you could send it my way, and I could always take care of that for you too, right? I could always do something to that effect. That's another way to handle it. There's a lot of ways to support. Sierra Production says, I just realized there's a man who I can't seem to recognize, but he sounds so much like Odin. Talking to me? You talking to me? My hair is actually growing out a little bit too long because I had a procedure done, not really anything major, but I had to get something removed off the back of my head. So I actually have a Band-Aid on there. I mentioned this previously on stream. And it's healing slowly, but I want it to heal quickly because I want to be able to get it a fresh buzz again. Because I liked it, and I liked keeping up with it. Christina Nadan says, please, Odin, do not play The Last of Us 2. The game is trash. I had no plans to play it in the first place. So I'm playing it vicariously through PewDiePie, and I'm loving all of PewDiePie's commentary. The PewDiePie commentary has been amazing. It's been spot on, and it's really genuine, too. It's a guy that avoided spoilers, or at least the best he could. He made very clear he wanted to wait until he played the game to make up his mind, and he is making up his mind. And last I heard, please no spoilers on PewDiePie's reaction, by the way, but so far he is just not digging it. He loves the world, and I will agree. Everything that I'm seeing in the gameplay, the world looks great. So kudos to the art team that put the world together. But obviously the story is what's suffering here, and we knew that based on the leaks and everything that we had beforehand. Tina, thanks for letting us know. Christina Nadan, what's going on? Saying hey to Stephanie. Father Christopher Miller, hail to you, Father. Says, wow, I'm able to join tonight. Well, Father, the only reason why is because I started late, because I was on a journey filming a video spot for Family Video with John Flickinger. And so again, you'll see a vlog version of it on my channel, on the OMB channel, probably tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then on Monday. And then he will have the legitimate video where I have a cameo appearance in there, a couple of cameo appearances in there, probably in about a week or so, because he actually got someone to come film it and edit it. So, though I think he is also, we did some vlogging though with him too, and I think he'll be posting a vlog sooner than that. So, Christina Nadan says, seriously, when will the censorship end? When we stop putting up with it, right? If you know of any politicians locally that are supporting these measures, don't vote for them. That's one way. And the other way, too, is resist. Again, I have one clear example of resistance right here. This is not me saying, oh, I'm going to distribute it and give it away to the people, etc. No, I had an experiment. The experiment worked, and I am now prepared for if they ever decide. They could, technically tomorrow, they could say, we're not making any more copies of Gone with the Wind. They could say that. They hold the rights to it. They could do whatever they wanted with it. They could say every copy from this point forward are going to have this stupid message, this stupid trigger warning, etc. And I was like, I do not hold to this. I don't think that's okay. So I'm going to digitize and preserve the copy I have that I bought, that I own, and test to see if I can replicate it. Sure enough, I can. That might be something I could do, saying, hey, if you can prove to me that you own if you get a movie and it's a different version than the one that you originally had, that could be something that I could do in the future. Again, that's long term, of course, but it's like a give and trade. You give me the faulty version, I'll give you the legitimate version, the way that it was meant to be seen. Kind of like I already do that with the Star Wars Specialized movies, right? I already do that by giving the Star Wars Specialized editions away. I think it's important. Father Christopher Miller says, I just bought the complete Are You Being Served collection because it's only a matter of time before they go after that one. Oh, I'm sure it is. Jeremy's Twitter. Can you tell Jeremy I miss him? Oh, Jeremy's Twitter's in the chat. What's going on, Jeremy's Twitter? Also, we got 50 people in the chat. Thank you guys so much. Again, very sorry about being late to the chat, but thank you so very much for being here. I really do appreciate it. All right, let's see. Super Anime Gamer says, "Oh no, poor Poods. He didn't read the leaks. Watching his reaction was so sad. He low-key admitted today his motivation for playing now, seeing everything happen. I feel so bad." No, yeah. It just... I actually don't know all of the leaks. I know basic stuff. So I think I'm going to watch it live with PewDiePie, with his reaction. And yeah, from everything I've heard about it, it is such a downer. And it's basically one of the worst games that could... See, let's take the politics out of it, because obviously we could go down that route and the politics suck and everything. But when you're dealing in a time of pandemic, when everyone's at home, when so many people are still furloughed, looking for work, losing hope, you release a game that is depressing as all hell? Like, that's one of the worst decisions that you could make. Not only is it a bad story, not only does it have obviously the crappy politics in it, but also it's a downer. It's just like, seriously, it's the worst combination of things you could put into a game. And PewDiePie's reaction, I think, is really making that very clear, I think. Christina Nadan says, "Thank God I'm waiting for Cyberpunk 2077 to be released later this year. Now that's got material." I sure hope so. I sure hope so. I hope that game lives up to the hype. Captain Wingster says, "Yeah, I was watching his stream earlier too. His reaction to Joel was appropriate, and I don't like sad feelings." I don't like him either. Like PewDiePie is such a happy guy, right? He's very rarely down or sad. And to see him do that, to see him fall into that place, it was sad. It was really, really sad. And I think that it just goes ahead and speaks to everything. So actually, the chat did jump on me on YouTube, and it looks like some comments may have been skipped. I'm about 25 minutes behind in the YouTube chat. Let me catch up, though, with my DLive fam. What's going on, DLive fam? Outback Zach says, "Oh, no. I wish I got squeezed at the theater." I bet you do, Outback Zach. Captain Adam and the clan says, "Oh, great fireworks are going off." Really? That's good to hear. Daniel Thorne, "Do you think the protesters are smart enough to know who Albert Pike is and take down his statue? And would there be consequences?" To be honest, again, I'm gonna be totally honest. I don't even know who Albert Pike is, but the protesters, the ones that are rioting and tearing things down, they're idiots. So I don't think that they would recognize who anyone is, because they're complete morons. That's what I would say to that. Phonemo, "Physical copies have wear and tear too. I've had a few DVDs crack because I watched them so much." Exactly right. That's why, again, having that physical copy preserves it. And again, I have a way. There are now ways where you can take that digital image file of that entire DVD and Blu-ray and copy it verbatim onto a Blu-ray disc, onto a DVD disc even, I bet. Obviously, I deal with Blu-ray specifically, but yeah. It's just really nice to have that as an option. And I'm sure people out there will be like, "This has been around forever. People have been pirating forever." But for me, this isn't pirating, right? For me, it's not, "Oh, I'm going to rip these movies and put them online. Screw the man," right? Some people do that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, of course, again, is I want to preserve what we have. I want to protect and safeguard these films that we've had for ages that deserve to be preserved, And if I had the money to hunt down like 35 millimeter prints and stuff of various films, I would love to do that. That would be an amazing job. I don't have that capacity. I don't have the know-withal and wherewithal to do that. You can check out people like Project 4K77 for that. They do amazing work with what they have. But what I can do is I can collect Blu-rays like I've been doing. I can try and start searching out. If y'all have a list of films that you think are problematic or are next on the list, that those could be movies that I could eventually go ahead and buy and, again, digitize, preserve, and save. And obviously it would require a level of trust, but just know that I would never plan to get rid of those copies and that they would be they would exist for all time. And I would, again, the end goal for me is to try and get a server that has that RAID protection where, if a drive fails, stuff gets saved, can be rebuilt. We'll have to wait and see, though. We'll have to wait and see. Let's see here. Cam Adams says, I don't feel like you're overreacting. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm sure some do. And again, everyone has a right to their opinion. Will Gentry says, I just looked on Amazon for any Little Britain DVD, and it says currently unavailable. Yep. And then Will Gentry says, however, the Little Britain Live 2006 DVD is still available. I'm wondering if it was just the show that had issues and not the live. I do know that last night there was, I think the entire series was still available, and on the marketplace it was like well over $250. So, yeah. Will Gentry, are you sure about that offer? Because I have a whole lot of old adult video files I want digitizing. Will Gentry, you know better than that, man. No, those I would destroy. Those I would destroy. And some might say, isn't that hypocritical, Odin? Isn't that being a hypocrite? Well, for me, I think that stuff is trash. I think that, it's art to me. No, that's stuff that has been made to try and garner a reaction from men, mostly. And I think has led to the degradation of the relationship as we know it. But again, that's for another day. Then again, it is open forum, so. Cab Adam the Clan, we can get all you eat pancakes, but why can we not have all you can eat French toast? Just saying. Yeah, that's a fair point. It's a fair point. I would still argue about the stack of pancakes. Daniel Thorne says, from what I've seen, it looks like The Last of Us 2 normalizes abusive relationships and makes people accept them. Yeah. We see that happen a lot in modern media, and it's really sad and disturbing. Cam Adams says, okay, bacon or breakfast sausage link or patties, I am bacon man with a side of them. I'm bacon, dude. Yeah, if you're asking me to choose between those meats for breakfast, yeah, bacon all the way. Some nice, crispy, greasy bacon is all I need. No doubt, no question about it. Camden High says, have you seen Jeremy's reaction to PewDiePie's reaction to Last of Us 2? I've not seen it because I'm watching PewDiePie's reaction myself, and I don't want it to get tainted at this point. I might watch it after the fact. Cam Adams says, 1978, The War of the Robots is a silly movie that I think you should see. Saw it tonight on Digital Pollution Channel. Check it out. Digital Pollution Channel? What's that? What in the world's that? Outback Zach, Die Hard with a Vengeance definitely is going to be altered soon. I believe that is a movie I'm missing. I know I have the first Die Hard, and it has the nice Christmas cover on it. I don't think I own the rest of the Die Hards. That's actually something that we've talked about as possibly doing a future stream of on the Good Morning Asgard streams. Will Gentry says, Odin, hater. Nah. You know, man. Camden Ice says, Project 4K 77 and 80, can you burn them to Blu-ray or can you just store them on your hard drive? You can do both. But I have, so basically they're still working on, so let's see, just to clarify, Project 4K 77 is done. They did the full 4K scan of the original Star Wars, now known, of course, as A New Hope. They have 4K scans of it available with digital noise reduction, without digital noise reduction. They've got the 1080p file too. So you can get that, and you can get the what's called the ISO file. So if you want to burn it to a Blu-ray, you want to download the ISO file, .iso. And then from there you can use, there's various software programs. The one I recommend and I use, and I might actually even make a video on this process, is one called Image Burn, IMG. BURN, Image, IMG, Burn. And it gives you the options to, it says literally write image file to disk. So then at that point, when you click on it, you make sure you have a blank Blu-ray disc in there. Make sure it's the right size. There's 25 gig Blu-rays. There's 50 gig Blu-rays. Most of these movies are going to be well more than 25. So you're going to want to get the dual layered 50. They can be pretty pricey. I just got some today. These came in around like 130 for a stack of 50. So that's why, once again, if you want to help me in the preservation effort and doing the giveaways for the Star Wars Specialized Edition, any amount of support helps. Actually, I might be able to get some cash back on this because the bottom was completely just destroyed. Luckily, no discs have been damaged, but they very well could have been, and the case is completely broken. But anyway, so blank disc, image burn, as long as you have an ISO file, it can be burnt. And obviously it's a digital file, so you can also serve it or protect it onto a server as well. So anyway, Project 4K 77, they're done. You can get it. Project 4K 83, Return of the Jedi, is done. You can get it onto a file. They're still working on Empire. They have not finished their scans of Empire. So all they have currently available is what's called a Grindhouse edition. And what it is it's a very dirty copy of a 35 millimeter print. So there's no color correction with it. There's a lot of noise with it. But some people might like that. I know I do. So I was able to get the ISO file for that and was able to get that onto a Blu-ray as well. So I have those ISO files and can replicate those in the future if need be. Cam Adams says, sorry, you said open forum. It is open forum, you're right. He then says, Digital Pollution is a Jez Oldfield, a mate from the UK from the past here on your stream, buddy. Jez Oldfield. Okay, I think I recognize the name, but it's been a very, very long time. Daniel Thorne, best disc brand for movie preservation. Yeah, this is one that there's obviously various opinions on. The one that I've had the most success with is called Verbatim. So again, the disc file, or rather the disc name is Verbatim, Verbatim. I go with what's known as the 50 gig discs. So again, the 50 gig discs, it's called BDRDL, just means that's fancy language for Blu-ray disc writable, meaning you can write onto it, so you can put the image file onto the Blu-ray. You can't write over it though. So once it's burnt, the movie's there, you can't redo it. There are more expensive discs that you can rewrite over. I wouldn't recommend those though, because you know, if you're burning a movie on there, you're not gonna want to reburn it anyway. So it's actually better quality to have it like that. But again, the 50 gigs are the best to have for regular Blu-ray files, because most Blu-rays are going to be between 30 and 45 gigs, more than enough for the 50 gig discs. But again, Verbatim offers them. They're not cheap though, sadly. You would think they would be. And I think that when you break down the price I paid for what I got, it's like $3.30 a disc. It's not terrible. But obviously $130, you know, is not nothing. So, but I'm glad I have these, because now I can do some more giveaways and play around with some more things. As I said, I think the next movie I want to play around with is Blazing Saddles, because obviously that one's definitely going to get taken away. But yeah, Verbatim is a very good brand to use for Blu-rays, for blank Blu-rays. All right, I'm caught up on DLive. Let me jump back over to YouTube. Again, I am about an hour, not an hour, I'm about half an hour behind in the YouTube chat. So sorry if I'm not getting to your comments right away. It's the nature of the beast. And also, I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling kind of chill. I'm feeling kind of relaxed tonight. I like it. I feel like I'm normally speaking a lot and saying things really quickly. I don't know. By the way, Orange Gatorade is definitely, I think, some of the best Gatorade. By the way, I still need to shout out, and I'll do this as soon as I catch up on YouTube and it jumps again before I jump to DLive. I'm going to go over the 3 Blu-rays I picked up from Family Video. I got all 3 movies. I got 3 movies for $6.35. So they are used. 2 of them came with slipcovers, though. And the only downside is that some of these were Blu-ray DVD combo packs. I only got the Blu-ray, no digital code. But again, if I'm paying essentially $2 for a Blu-ray disc and I actually get the cover art and everything, I can make do. All right, Nathan Slay over on YouTube says, would it be accurate to call Winter Soldier the greatest MCU movie? I really like personal stories over team-up MCU films. Many would argue it is. It's definitely one of my favorites. That, Infinity War, Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor Ragnarok, those are all like the ones that I enjoy, the most entertaining to me. But yeah, I would say that Winter Soldier is by far one of the best made films too, I would argue. Bruce says, watch out, Odin, the mob are toppling Laserdisc players and VHS is next. No! What's going on, Laura? Waiting for Nerdrotic. Are you still waiting for Nerdrotic, by the way? You probably are. He tends to be late. Nathan Slay. So you like The Incredible Hulk. I'm going to try and give that movie another chance after the stream. Yeah, not Ang Lee's Hulk. Do not watch Ang Lee's Hulk. Ang Lee's Hulk is not very good. But Edward Norton's Hulk is. Now, is it for everyone? No, not every movie is for everyone. Is it the best MCU film? No, but I would argue it's actually one of the stronger MCU films, because remember, that came out at the same time that Iron Man did. And I think that's why a lot of people kind of put it down, was because Iron Man came out first and was amazing. And then we had another MCU film, and it was Edward Norton, and it was the Hulk, and then it was good, but it didn't quite match up. Didn't quite match up to what we got instead with Iron Man. And so it's a good film, though. It's a very, very good film. I would recommend it. Tina says, they've cut out serving alcohol on many flights. Now, they didn't say I couldn't bring my own. But seriously, I can't have a glass of wine, but I can have a bit of water? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Again, we're living in clown world where the rules are being made up. The points don't matter, as is said on Whose Line Is It Anyway? And it's all a crap show. It really is. And, you know, it's the same people that were like, oh, the protesters, they're doing great, and yes, they should protest, who are now saying, you need a social distance when going back to work. It's all hypocrisy. That's all it is. It's all hypocrisy. Hi, UrbanX13. Hi, dude. How's it going? Sorry, came a little late in the chat. It's all good, man. You missed the special cameo earlier, but that's okay. Super Anime Gamer says, I doubt AMC or any other chain will really enforce it. AMC doomed themselves by saying they didn't want to get political. That made it political, at least to the lefties. Yeah, they did screw themselves. The CEO did a terrible job. The CEO would have best been served not saying a damn thing. He put themselves in the hot water. By the way, Wormwood, thank you for becoming a member on the channel at the Citizen of Asgard level. Please enjoy the petting of the puppy, because always pet your doggos. Always pet your doggos. But thank you, man. And yeah, getting back to Super's point, I agree. There's just no way for them to really be able to enforce it. So as I said, what's going to happen is there's going to be a clarification, and I think it's going to be where once you're in the theater, once you're sitting down, eating, drinking, etc., that you'll be fine. And that's the only way that I'll go. So 70B was very upset with my tech talk. I think I said it slowly and that it made enough sense. At least that's my hope. Kathy Wingster says, on an unrelated note, I recently watched The Disaster Artist. I enjoyed the experience. It's a great film, based on an even better film, known as The Room. Yeah, it's a solid shout. Great film. Tina B says, if that was for Odin, put Odin question. Yeah, so again, if you have a comment or question that you want read aloud, please type Odin question on YouTube. All one word, Odin question. It highlights orange on my screen, lets me know that you're trying to get my attention. HyberX13 says, Bane going back to theaters be like, nobody cared who I was until I put on the mask. Yeah, there's obviously a lot of I think the Dark Knight trilogy is going back to several theaters. Inception is being released the day that we were supposed to get Tenet. So yeah, a lot of classic films being released. A bunch of films are going to be available starting this coming weekend, actually, at the theater that's 30 minutes from me. And also, on a positive note, recently, I've been leasing a car for a while now. It's just a better financial decision. Went in today because we were getting close to the end of the lease, and so now we are in the process of buying it, and now I don't have to worry about my miles as much. And so now, hopefully, I'll be able to do some more traveling, because I was trying to keep my miles down, because Lord knows if we had decided to turn it in or get something else, that penalty is crazy. So luckily, I was able to keep it down. So I will feel much better about traveling and going extra miles that otherwise I would have been like, I don't need to. Let me save the miles. Micah Martinez, I understand that masks are important, but the Twitter mob was acting like they didn't accept masks. I swear these people are so dumb. They're so dumb because they ignore the fact that AMC said all employees must wear masks. All employees will be checked. In fact, even like multiple times with temperatures, right? So the employee side of it's fine. They also said we're going to do social distancing. We're going to do all of this different stuff. Everything that was needed to be done. The CEO's mistake, though, was by basically, I wouldn't say he was boasting, but some might have taken it that way, boasting that they were not going to require their guests to wear a mask. And again, I don't think he was clarifying the main point of what he was trying to say. And again, I think what's going to happen is that it's going to come back out that he meant to say in public spaces like the lobby, hallway, etc. Nathan Slay, can we just delete the Twitter mob from existence? Well, we can definitely try to lessen the impact that it has on our society and our culture. HyperNext13, since this is an open forum stream, is it okay if I ask you something faith-based related? What's your thoughts on interfaith chapels? Do you think they're beneficial? Have you been to one? That's a good question, HyperNext13. Thank you for the question. It is open forum. I am personally against them. And it's not because I don't think we should have, common ground or that we shouldn't come together and have conversations. I'm all for that, right? I'm all for conversations. But the problem comes in, especially, again, this is just coming from a Catholic lens, because as a Catholic, we believe that the Catholic Church is the one true Church of Christ, right? That's a part of our tenet, right? That's a part of our belief. I will never attack anyone who is not a Catholic. I will never criticize anyone that is not a Catholic, right? That's just not how I go about it, right? But I need to be honest, that is a part of my belief as a Roman Catholic. And if I believe that to be true, right? If I know that to be true, because again, part of belief is believing it to be true, right? There has to be some sense of logic in there, otherwise it doesn't make sense. Then having another religion in the place where Christ himself is supposed to be present in the Eucharist, it just doesn't work, right? On a logical level, it doesn't work. So am I against interfaith chapels? Like, do I think they should be banned? No. Again, if you want to build a chapel and call it interfaith, again, I think you have the right to build whatever it is that you want to. But I have the right to not go. And I think that in the end, again, at least from a Catholic perspective, that if ever a government said, oh, your Catholic Church has to host a mosque or has to host this, I would be very, very, very much against it, because I would never, ever want anyone that worships at a mosque or worships at a synagogue or worships at their own church to be forced to host another religion, right? We have freedom of religion here, right? And that means that we have the freedom to celebrate our religion. So that's my thought. Hopefully that answers the question. And hopefully I did not come across as a complete tool. Super says, yes, happy Father's Day to you. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Captain Wingster says, Odin, why can't you eat a watch? Because it's time consuming. And I'll see myself out. Happy Daddy Day. There it is. There's Captain Wingster dropping the dropping those trollery comments. I love it. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Cobra Viber 999 says the BBC pushed Little Britain as their star show back in the day. Now it's hidden away. Yep. Now it's time to hide it all the way. And Steph, no, I'm not ever going to hide away from the digital talk because it is so important. Plus, you might benefit from it one day. You might benefit. Maybe there's a film that you don't have that's problematic that you can't have access to, and maybe because you're one of my Valkyries, maybe you get a gift. Maybe. But with an attitude like that, I don't know. With an attitude like that, I don't know. We need all that tech stuff in order to make that happen, though. By the way, Tina and Steph, as y'all are my Valkyries and I love y'all so much, please let me know if there's anything that you would like to have access to, film-wise. Allegedly, I can make it happen. Allegedly. If it's not available. If it is not yet available. If it's sold out. If it's being censored. I'll take care of my Valks. I will take care of my Valks. Nathan Slay, I have been stacking up on the action classics that I wish to see, like Aliens, Predator, Rambo, First Blood. That's a great collection, man. I have seen all 3 of those movies, and they're all great. Nathan Slay, stacking up action classics on physical media, of course. Yes. Canceled Venom. Was it your Betamax drive? Was it your Betamax drive removed? That's something else. I never experienced Betamax in my life. So so it'd be cool to have a Betamax. It'd be cool to have a Laserdisc. Just to have it, just to have it as like a part of the collection. Slash Neon says, I once confused Blazing Saddles and Wild Hogs. Holy crap. How do you... what? If it's the Wild Hogs I'm thinking of, I wondered for a long time why a Tim Allen biker film was racist. Yeah, dude, what? That's the weirdest mistake to ever make that I've ever heard in my life. To confuse Blazing Saddles for Wild Hogs. Tim Allen's Wild Hogs. God. Wasn't that also a film featuring Robin Williams? It's a crew of older actors. Tina then says, Wild Hogs is, well, Wild Hogs, and Blazing Saddles is one of the greatest comedies of all time. Yes, these are facts. 70B says, cameo, indeed. Slicer says, oh, poor PewDiePie's reaction to the ending. It will speak for many. SJW's killed it. There is no sequel to The Last of Us. Yeah, that's just sad, man. And Kiko Rogers, I saw your comment, even though you didn't tag me. Kiko Rogers says, we need a 4K transfer of Blazing Saddles. Either they're already working on one, they stopped working on it because they're about to cancel it. And here's the other thing too, right? Something that could be really cool is like if we get to this age where films are being canceled, not only can I, and others take and create Blu-rays ourselves and preserve it for all time, but also kind of what's happening with the, I mentioned Project 4K77. They're preserving Star Wars. One of the things that they did was they got a bunch of prints of the film. It's like 35 millimeter prints. So for a film like Blazing Saddles that was made a long time ago before digital, there are probably a lot of 35 millimeter prints of the movie, right? That were shown in theaters that have been collected over time. So all that would need to be done, if a studio is not going to do it, all you need are a group of hardcore fans with some funding, and they can make their own 4K scan of the film and do a pretty good job on it with the technology that we have nowadays. So yeah, I hope that happens at some point. I hope it does. I hope we get past all this cancel culture nonsense because it's really sad. It's really sad to see all this stuff. All right, the chat has jumped on me on the YouTube. Cool. No, it looks like some comments were skipped. So before I jump back to D-Live to catch up, let me go over the movies I got. So as I mentioned previously, if you're just joining us, we have currently 51 people watching. Please smash that like button. Again, this is going to be a shorter stream. We're already, I say that, and we're already at an hour and 15 minutes. So we will be ending the stream soon. Time's flying, man. But anyway, so I'll go through this, catch up with D-Live, and then I'm going to have to unfortunately just skip through, to skip through comments on YouTube because I do need to end the stream. But anyway, these are the movies I picked up. So I got 3 movies. I got them for $6. So these are all used, but they all came with their cover art, and they also came, 2 of them came with slipcover. So I'll go through each of them and explain why I got them. So let's start off with this one. So I got this one. This one was $3 actually. And it is the Blu-ray for Tomb Raider, the newer one with Alicia Vikander. Now the story that I have with this movie is I saw it in theaters. It was late at night. It was a late showing of the movie. And I fell asleep. And I usually fall asleep in a movie for 2 reasons. Either 1, it's boring, or 2, it was really late and I probably shouldn't have been watching a movie, and I naturally sometimes fall asleep when watching movies. Two examples of this would be this. American Hustle I saw late at night. Got to see an early screening of that. That's when I was working for AMC. We got to see an early screening. I fell asleep very, very quickly all the way through. But I loved the cast, and David O. Russell had done a lot of really good things with things like Silver Lining Playbook, right? I was very excited about his movie. So I decided to watch it again. Sure enough, it was as boring as I remembered it to be. It was terrible. There's another movie by Martin Scorsese called Silence. Silence was a film I also fell asleep in. Watched it again at a better time. Loved it. One of my favorite Scorsese films, an underrated Scorsese film. So anyway, I've only ever seen this once. The time I fell asleep, I figured, hey, for $3 on Blu-ray, I'll go ahead and pick this one up. I know a bunch of people on the channel have said that they actually really enjoyed this one and that I should give it a second chance. Well, now I own it. Now I have it. This one also came with a slipcover. The only bad thing is that it's got these stickers on it, and so likely it's going to do damage to the cover as I'm peeling them off. So actually, there was a second sticker on there. It used to be $5, so this thing has since been discounted by 2. But anyway, comes with just the Blu-ray. Unfortunately, it does not come with the DVD or the digital. But again, for $3, again, not a bad deal. Obviously, the one other thing I'd be worried about is the actual quality. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do this live on camera. And boom. All right. Not too much damage. Boom. Look at that. Nice and neat. It's always nice to have the slipcovers, though. For a collector like I am, slipcovers are a wonderful thing because they become very rare as the movies go on for certain films. All right, the next movie to talk about is going to be an odd one. I think a lot of people are going to be like, what the hell are you doing picking this one up? But this is a movie that I've seen one time, and for some reason, it's stuck with me. It's a movie that every time I see a picture for it or hear it referenced, I'm like, I actually really enjoy this movie. And it's called Roman J. Israel Esquire, with stickers, obviously. It's a film starring Denzel Washington, and I like the film a lot, and I think it has a lot to do not only because Denzel is amazing, but also it's the same guy that directed Nightcrawler. And if anyone knows anything about me, I'm constantly talking about how much I completely love the film Nightcrawler. I think it's one of the best films that we've gotten in a very, very long time. And I just want to make sure I get the name. Yeah, John Gilroy was the one that did this film. He also did Nightcrawler, and it's just really good. It deals with a guy who's a brilliant lawyer and could be working in a major law firm, but would rather work for people that can't afford it, would rather work on those cases to help other people out. And it's just very, very well done by Denzel. He got a Golden Globe nomination, which is what put it on my radar in the first place. And then when I saw, this is the guy that did Nightcrawler. I love Nightcrawler. I watched this and I'm like, I liked it a lot. So this one was $2, but because I bought the other film, this one actually ended up being $1.50. So to pick this one up on Blu-ray for $1.50, a movie that has stuck with me for a while, and again by a director that I'm actually a huge fan of, I think overall it was very well worth it. Again, doesn't come with a digital copy, but that's okay because I can luckily digitize it with the current setup I have. So anyway, Roman J. Israel Esquire. Again, I think it's a really good film. I just do. I think it's a very underrated film. It's a film that you probably never heard of, but if you like Denzel Washington, I would recommend it. I would definitely recommend it. So, set in L.A. And then the last film that I picked up is another one of these oddball ones. It's a indie film featuring one of my favorite actors actually working in Hollywood. So Michael Shannon is a wonderful, wonderful actor. And he actually worked on a movie with the director of this film that I always say is probably one of the most underrated films of the last 10, 15 years. It's just that good. It actually also stars Jessica Chastain. That film is called Take Shelter. But this one right here is a film written and directed by Jeff Nichols. I think he may have also done a film called Mud with Matthew McConaughey as well. He's known for making indie films, but they're always just very high quality, very well made. This is a movie that has a special place for me. So again, I got this one for $1.50 when you break it all down. So again, the most expensive film I got was $3 for the newest Tomb Raider movie. So again, that's a film that I wanted to get a second watch of anyway. Roman J. Israel Esquire, which I think is a fantastic film. Together, these two are $3. So I got this one for $1.50 on Blu-ray. Great deal. And then, of course, Midnight Special. Midnight Special is a film that I wanted to pick up. As soon as I saw this was on sale today, I was like, I need to get this. And the reason why is because I had a very bad experience with this movie. And that might make you think, why would you want to buy it then? The reason why I had a bad experience with it was because I saw it in a theater where the bulb was going dead. The bulb was dying. And so the entire film was flickering. The entire film was, it was so distracting. And obviously, one of the key elements of this movie is that this kid's eyes glow. And it kind of again, I don't want to go into too much of the spoilers of the film, but because of that, it was very, very distracting, and I just didn't like the experience. And so it's a film I've always wanted to revisit. So for $1.50, even though it's used on Blu-ray, I would not mind going back, and I would love to be able to return to this, and luckily now I can. So once again, though, that was available for about $1. Again, because of the deal, it was $1.50 on Blu-ray. So again, 3 Blu-rays for $6. Again, all of them are used. But yeah, and as I bought them, they sprayed each of the discs and cleaned it, and so I've not actually, I've not studied them yet to see if they were picture perfect. But if they're good enough for me to be able to digitize them, then even if they do skip on a player, the digital copy that I have will be fine. And guess what? Now I know how to make my own copy, so I could potentially fix the disc even then. So anyway, Midnight Special, Jeff Nichols film, Michael Shannon, great actor. It's also got Joel Edgerton in it, who's a great actor. Kirsten Dunst is in it. Adam Driver's in it. So Kylo Ren, when he's not being Kylo Ren. Roman J. Israel Esquire with, again, a powerhouse performance from Denzel Washington. Does a great job in it. Colin Farrell is also in it as well. Does a great job. And then the newest Tomb Raider film with Alicia Vikander. There is actually a sequel to this film that's being worked on, according to IMDb. I did not think it would get one, but I guess it made enough at the box office. And it's a movie that I would like to rewatch because I hear a lot of people say it's not as bad as you remembered, Odin. And so, yeah, those are the films that I got. Vake, thank you very much for the $2 super chat while I was going through that. And he says, give me a good film on Netflix now to watch tonight. Oh, Lord. Well, first off, I would say you need to get away from Netflix because go ahead and buy your own media is what I would recommend that you do. But if I had to, let me see, what is currently available? I haven't seen it yet, but it's on my list. Starship Troopers. Go ahead and watch Starship Troopers. That could be a way to do it. All right. Now I need to all right, I'm going to catch up on DLive, and then I'm going to try and skip through YouTube because I do need to end the stream because I'm actually going longer than what I initially intended to do. And my wife's about to go to bed, so I want to make sure I get through it as quickly as possible as the puppies are now making their appearance in the bed. And my wife. Thank you. Love you. I will not be much longer. Alrighty here. 2 hours later. Let's see. I got you Daniel Thorne already. Phonema says the amount of data that a Blu-ray can hold is still amazing to me. I remember Burnaby CDs. Yeah, so a dual-layered Blu-ray can hold 50 gigs, single-layered 25 gigs. Dude, 4Ks can hold 100 gigs. That's just insane. Cam Adams says, I'd say all Mel Brooks movies just to be safe. I would agree on that point. Cam Adams says, it feels like a Twitch stream or an old school stream from back in the day when we only had 40 people. This is true. Cam Adams says, Ed Norton was the bomb as Bruce's Hulk. It's true. He also says, well, Twits on the Twitter man. I love you all for you do for us, but I can't wait till we get back to the movies so we can have more fun. I agree. Not that what you are doing now isn't fun, just will be glad to have movies again. I hear you and agree. Camden High says, did you hear about Michael Jackson's daughter being cast to play Jesus in the upcoming movie? I'm so sick and tired of all the crap that they are adding to these films. Cam Adams says, remind me please, but did you enjoy Batman the Animated Series? I did. I've not seen all of it, but from what I remember as a kid, I did. And he also confirms that Robin Williams is in Wild Hogs. Fan of the ladies is following on DLive. Well, thank you for being here. Adam says Wild Hogs has John Travolta. That's right, it has John Travolta, William H. Macy as well. Damn, son. Daniel Thorne, whatever shall we do? There isn't a DLive version of Tina. That is true. This is true. And she never will cross over. She's made that clear. Cam Adams says, thank you for letting her know how to contact me. Fan of the lady says, watch how to use Windows 98. It's super informative. What? What? I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. Mr. Bojangles. I like Mr. Bojangles better. Phonemo says Starship Troopers is a fun movie. That's what I've been hearing. That's why it is on my list. Adam, unfortunately, Freya is gone up. All right, so DLive fam, I think that's going to be it for y'all tonight, but let me go ahead and just rush through as fast as possible all the remaining YouTube comments that are 30 minutes behind. So if I skip your comment, I'm sorry, but we are on a time crunch. Rhaegar Targaryen says, you might want to add the Jerk to your list and Trading Places. I own the Jerk. I don't know if I own Trading Places. Darth Scipio says, concerning last night's Friday Night Tights, I asked Cameron not to speak for people of color in the U.S. He came out with this, I'm Pakistani Muslim. No. Okay, so Darth Scipio, I'm not getting involved in any drama that you might have with him. All I know is that he's a good dude. He's an interesting guy. I would love to talk to him. I plan on having him on my channel. That's all I'm going to say. So if you have beef with him, you have beef with him, man, but I'm not getting involved with any beef. Because I don't think he did any, based on everything I heard, I don't think he tried to take ownership of every single person. He took ownership for himself. That's what I got from it. Father says, Blazing Saddles won't be taken away. Richard Pryor was heavily involved in the writing. Here's the thing, though. You have several icons that were based off of historical figures that are being wiped away from existence. So I would not put it past them, to be honest. Larry says, oh, then Alex McCarthy, I like Age of Ultron, he says. Of course you do. Slicer, let's see. Slicer Neon says, Nerdrotic isn't late. He knows what he's doing. Of course. Darth Scipio, I think you and comics are holding back Friday Night Tights. Let loose, brother. Come on, man. Hey, I'm just polite. That's what it is. I'm polite. I let people talk. When I have something to say, I try and get out there, but I'm not going to, eventually, if I were to talk all the times that I want to talk, it would just be nonstop noise, and that's not good entertainment. Mirror Jeremy, how long do they remake Godfather with an African-American cast? Dear Lord. Nathan Slay and Frustrated Theaters forced guests to wear masks. I am too. HyperNext13. Well, earlier did you say Saul Goodman as in Saul Goodman? Yes, and of course I did. Wormwood, thanks for being a member. Glad to see you there in green. Latino Slant says, Odin, best Edward Norton flick. I actually am very fond of The Illusionist, to be honest. Tina says, and Chick-fil-A can go jump off a building. They bent the knee to BLM. I can make my own rip-off Chick-fil-A at home. I've always thought, I support Chick-fil-A for a long time because they were seen as the Christian group and they were attacked because they were Christian and they were supposedly holding to traditional values and they were getting attacked for it. And I was like, okay, I'll support them just because, I think it's ridiculous that, people are getting canceled. But that being said, I never thought their chicken was any good. that's just me. It's always overpriced. Let's see. Kansas Jeremy says, computer says no. What? Frank, don't you double dip, so I'm going to skip your comment. Mirror Jeremy, has American History X been canceled yet? Not that I'm aware of. Nathan Slay says, what Dark Knight trilogy? What is this mysterious third movie you speak of? That's a fair point. Star Scipio, Young Frankenstein versus Blazing Saddles. Which film do you got? Well, I own both of them. If I had to choose between the two, I'd probably go, at this point in time, Young Frankenstein. Wormwood, Winter Soldier's solid. I agree. 70B, Night Chief, be good. I'm trying to get there fast as I possibly can. Wormwood says, Ang Lee's Hulk just feels very off, but I love Edward Norton's Hulk. I see why people didn't like it, though. Yeah, again, it's definitely not for everyone. It's the CG is great at times. It's not so great other times. Story elements have some issues in it, but it's a solid film. It really is a solid film. It's a fun time. Father says, I'll go ahead and attack Benny Hinn. YouTube, look up Benny Hinn, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. I don't know what that means. Larry, I know the song Let the Bodies Hit the Floor, but Larry, Neutral Ground is good. It's good to be neutral sometimes. HyperNext13 says, I hate to bring this up, but since it's over for him, I can't help it. China being China, as usual, showing aggression towards India through border disputes. It's like they want to start World War III, and I think a lot of people are concerned about that. I hope that people protect themselves. Pure and simple. Hope people protect themselves. They just like, Hulk to Avengers. Do not upset me. Avengers do not like Hulk when I am Ang Lee. I see what you did there. Sia Productions. Complete this dad joke. How do you make holy water? I don't know. Tina says she's already gone. Goodbye. Sakura315. Howdy. HyperNext13, thank you for answering Odin on the interfaith comment. I can understand where you're coming from on the freedom of religion. It's an interesting topic for sure. Oh, for sure. Absolutely it is. Yeah, I just don't think it should be forced. Father says, I'll also go ahead and attack Joel Osteen. I think one of his suits is worth more than all the clothes I own. Joel Osteen is a tool. Larry, Blazing Saddles still on Hulu. There you go. Also, you can always buy it. There are also several Mel Brooks collections where you can get all of his films. I actually have a Mel Brooks collection, and I love it because it has all of the films that are classics of his. So Wormwood says Blazing Saddles is GOAT. It's definitely great. Larry says, yes, father, one of 4 co-writers. Huh? Tina says, I got angry with Joel Osteen when Larry King said to him that Christianity has caused all the problems in the world, and Osteen agreed with him. Yep, that is selling out Christianity, and also it's just not true. It's also factually incorrect. It's factually incorrect, my friends. Oh my goodness, there are so many comments, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to skip some of these comments at some point. But I want to try and get my members as much as I can, because that's part of the membership. Larry says, past Odin bedtime. It is, for sure. Fenneman Niece, thanks for being here. Mayor Jeremy, I don't know what that... Oh, Mayor Jeremy says, makes me think of Red Cow from South Park. Does a little bit. Wormwood says, well, religion will never be that easy. I'm atheist, but respect every religion as long as it isn't pushed upon me. Boom, there it is. Again, freedom of religion, man. But have you heard about my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? I'm kidding, man. I'm not gonna proselytize to you right now. Tina says, I'm only falling asleep at the movies once. It was some boxing movie with Daniel Day-Lewis. I fell asleep on Chariots of Fire trying to watch at home video. Again, I think that happens. It really does. Larry says, get my Laserdisc out of tons of extras. Bruce, I did like Tomb Raider, but I recently rewatched it and it was way harder to watch. Ah, interesting. Latino Slant, I only walked out of one film, Caddyshack 2. Never seen either. Rob D says, hey, Odin, have you seen the extended edition of Rambo Last Blood? It's on Amazon Prime. I still need to see a lot of the other Rambos before I've seen Rambo 1 and I think Rambo 2. I need to see the rest. Wormwood says, well, they didn't need a sequel to The Last of Us. DLC was okay, though. So a sequel to something that wasn't needed was redundant. And I think kind of the whole story arc of why Abby was getting revenge was so on the nose. And it's like, yeah, you didn't need to make that. Bruce, I watched a video of a person in Korea cut his copy of Last of Us. Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. I'm not trying to get rid of y'all, Wormwood. He also says, Alicia Vikander is awesome, though. Yeah, Alicia Vikander, if you want to know why I think she's a great actress, see her in a film called Ex Machina. Ex Machina is freaking fantastic. It's one of the best sci-fi films of the last 10 years. And it's Grace. Kenzo Venom says, Inner Space by chance. I do have Inner Space. I do have an extra copy of Inner Space. Catherine Wingster says, have a good night. Odin and God be with you. And Poods, get to a very special Abby. No. How dare you? Larry says, Alita sequel. Again, still up in the air. Who knows? Wormwood, never heard of. Don't know what you didn't heard of. I guess it's the movie. Latina Slant says, wife cameo. Damn right. Larry says, don't forget 2-sided Blu-rays, rare but exist. Yes, they do. I don't like those, though, because what it is it's basically it's 225 gig. It's too single layered, and it sucks because one side eventually will indeed get destroyed. So those are DVDs, I think, for the most part. There might be some Blu-rays, but I've usually only ever seen that on DVDs and not on actual Blu-ray discs. Alice Martinez says, have you heard about The Last of Us 2 controversy? Yep, I have. Already talked about that a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and skip that. Larry says Richard Pryor will be canceled. Doesn't surprise me. Tina says they'll just pretend that Richard Pryor never existed or he didn't get it. Yeah, they'll call him all kinds of names. You know what I mean, Tina. Wormwood says Pryor was amazing. Damn right he was. He did some great stuff. Tina, it's a Chick-fil-A comment. Yeah, I see what you're talking about there. Alrighty, I'm getting there. I'm almost caught up. CA Productions, you failed to complete the dad joke. How do you make holy water? You boiled the hell out of it. How dare you? How dare you, good sir? Alrighty, cool. And I have caught up on all of the comments on YouTube, and my DLive fam have just been spamming over there. So thank y'all so very much. Watch Idiocracy. Good night. I've never seen it before. I think I've heard some good things about it, but I honestly don't know. Anyway, guys, thank y'all so much for being here. We ended up doing a full stream. Didn't think I was going to do a full stream, but I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I still need to get my footage up. I probably won't do that tonight. I need to go eat because I haven't eaten dinner yet. So I'm probably going to have like a little bit of a snack and then head to bed. So guys, thank y'all so much for being here. I will be back on the channel Monday morning. So if you want to watch with us a movie on Monday morning, go to the Welcome to Asgard channel, secondary channel, the Welcome to Asgard channel, and you will be able to join us as we watch The Great Escape. It'll be the first time I've ever seen The Great Escape. Very, very excited about it. Heard great things about it. And it should be a very, very good time. So, guys, thank you. Guys and gals, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your love and for your support for the two people that donated via Super Chat tonight. Thank you so much for that. And also, Wormwood, thank you for becoming a member. And, thanks to all the members of the channel. Thanks to everyone for being here. Huge shout out to Tina and Steph, my Valks, who do amazing work here, do amazing jobs, and put up with my nonsense. So thank you all so much for being here. Have a wonderful night, everybody. And as always, God bless. And now a huge shout out to all of my June Patreon members: Albertus Magnus, Animation Commentator, Brian P., David Bobrizik, Dion, Divex, Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, hail to you, Father, Frank the Tank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan, Harold Francis, the Hunky Chunky Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, Intertrap Productions, Jason Clark, Jeffrey Toon, Kenneth Cameo, Lady T, Laura Story, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mike Jackson, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin with the beautiful hair, Orange Hat Reviews, Outpost Dyer, Out of Step with Reality, Riff Magos, Rosetta Allen, Steve Glasker, Teresa Martin, Theodore Benton, Tina Bojan, The DJD Show, and Tina B. And also to my Subscribe Star members: Edgardo Martinez, John B., Perpetual Punster, Robert Revo, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, G2 Cool 99, Dark Star 57, J. Alex McCarthy Jr., US 888209 Fast, Dean Heiss, Harold Francis, J. Rod, the Beer Guru, and also Nebanon G. Adams and ZK Man, and Jonathan Carney, and Jacob Juice. Thank you all so much for being a member of Patreon and Subscribestar. And seriously, it really does mean a lot. Helps keeps the light on, helps me able to do things like the giveaways for my $5 and up backers on Patreon and Subscribestar, and also be able to put more stuff into the actual channel itself, including upgrading different components, whether it be webcams, microphones, things like that. All of that helps to support it, and it really does mean a lot. So thank you all so very much. Please, if you want to have your name shouted out or look at any of the other perks, which include things like indeed having access to exclusive 4K digital giveaways every single month, and also an exclusive podcast hosted on Patreon and Subscribestar, and also YouTube memberships as well at the $10 and up level, featuring John the Flickpig Flickinger. Please check all of those things out in the description of this video. You guys are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless.